modeling. I'm going to first of all clear out the scene. And I think the next thing I'm going to do is to import that image. I don't think road signs should be like this short, because this guy literally could jump and his head would touch it. So I think it should be somewhere this high. Exactly. So we're looking at this. I think an average height person should stop around here. So this entire length is almost double the person's height. I think I'm right about the same spot. So first thing, I want to bring in the cylinder down and scale on the z-axis, just like so. Scale. So right here, Shift Z, expand that. We can go on to bringing in our signage. So I think our first signage should be circular. I'll scale that down, and I think right about here it looks to scale. And GY right here, I want to select face, insert it, and then extrude. I'll select this loop, and then this right here, and I would alt that insert again and just see how these things look like in real life. I don't think there's any inserts, but for mine I think I want to put an insert so that it has more dimension to it. Let me look at more pictures. I don't think I need to put one. So what I would just do, but this looks too simple. That's why looks too simple actually. I'm going to put an insert, I'm sorry. So I'm going to scale that to the center, and even if it's the slightest extrusion in, and then right here I can select this loop, select this, and I can just run a bevel. I'm going to GY, fix this into place, just like so, and then delete edge or bring up a loop, and then just expand on this. I'm going to select boundary loops and then select this loop too, and then just bevel that. But if I do that, apply scale and just bevel. So I would first of all create one of these, attach to the back, and then create bevel not too far apart. Select this two and then bevel. Then we can extrude this outward, select this Y, select that entire. What I'm trying to do with this is just extrude this backward, EY. I'm going to remove the mirror modifier from this, select this, and then mirror that to the down part. What I can do next now is to create this. I don't know what was the name of this joining right here. Well, I'm going to create that with loops. I'm going to isolate this loop first. GZ. I'm going to bevel that, and then selecting this, I will isolate this, and then right to the side, I'll select these vertices and delete. Select this vertex. No, I'll join this and delete. I'm going to bring cursor to the origin first before the extrusion. Extrude on the X. I don't expect anybody to be on stream right now because like it's really late. It's like 1:30 in the morning. EX. And I feel like I've made this commitment to myself. Like I think I'm going to follow through with this. Right, so this is cool. I'm going to apply the mirror modifier, and right here I can add this loop, bevel this, extrude along normals, just like so, and then add a bevel. Add a subdivision. Then I'm going to delete this face. I'm just going to use some holding loops to just give this some kind of a form right here. So what I'm going to do is put this right here. I'll bring in a cylinder, scale that down, RX 90. I'm going to RX 90 and scale that down, SY. And I think we have something that simulates that bolt and nut look. For this, I'm going to apply scale and just bevel that. Apply the subdivision first, apply the subdivide, and then join it together with this, but shade auto smooth. Okay, that's cool. So for this, I can return origin to geometry and then just flip to the other side. Right here, I feel like I want to insert and just extrude a smidge, just a smidge. All right. So this is our first sign, looking good. I just would want to texture right now. And for this, I want to go to the front view. That works. I think I should do just a kilometer sign first. Scale down, and I think we got it. The only thing is that I'm going to reduce roughness, increase the metallic, but no, I don't want to do that. Something I would like to do is mixing a wave texture. So the idea behind the wave texture is to just have some lines running through. It's going to be darkened, and I also like to have some depth particles on it, just at different points. So this is it right here. I can bring this into the color. I think that line is going to be more reflective than the other part. So this wave line that I've created, I'm going to plug that into the roughness, and let's see what that's looking like. Okay, this is what it's looking like, and I think I like it. Control that roughness with the color ramp right about here. And this overly reflective part, I'm going to make it a bit more blurry, and this overly, so it's just going to be, and the pole is just going to be metallic straight up. I think I would like to do something a little different with this pole, and the only thing that is coming to mind is to go to Polyhaven. We're going to go with the blue metal plate. I think I used it for the bench, so I'm going to go down all the way to shader editor. And same thing we did for it last time. I think I'm going to bring in a hue saturation, desaturate all of that, right? Okay, I think this is good. Let me see the roughness map. I want to see how the roughness moves. Okay, I probably want to bring in a color ramp to make that more contrasty. All right, so I like this. For this top shader, I think I want to mix in another noise into that. So I'm going to bring in a noise texture and mix that in. So for subsequent, what I'm going to do, same technique. This is going to be in the color, and this is going to be in the factor, right? I'm going to change this to darken, and let me look for a good noise pattern for this. More rough, more detailed, more contrast with color ramp, right? Let's see what it's looking like on the final thing. Okay, I'm not really seeing it so much, so I probably need to change this to black. I'm not seeing it as much actually. All right, it's there. It's just, so this is our material setup for this poles. We have our first one. I'm going to shift DX out of the way. The next is going to be, I'm going to do a no entry sign. That's this up here. I can G and move this into place just like so. Scale that. So this is a no entry sign, and I think it looks good. Something I noticed that I didn't do is right here. I didn't texture all of this. So I can just link this to the metallic texture we have behind here. And this one at the back, I don't want this to be on anything at all. So can I just give this back a different material? Then this right here is my, so can I link these materials? And then for the back, so we have a second one. We're going to have a different sign. So I'm going to bring cursor to that point. I'm going to bring in a cube RX 90, rotates 45 degrees, and then scale it down. So this is going to have this road end right here. So that gives more context to why there's no entry. So I can GY and I can extrude this out just like so. So I can staple this here and then link material. And voila, I'm going to bring in cursor to this point. I'm going to bring in a cylinder, scale. I'm going to bring in a cylinder again and make it 32. Yes, 32 sides. RX 90, scale down, SY. Right here, I can bring SY. Scale, Shift DZ. So this is another set. I really don't know how I'm going to, I probably want to parent to an empty, but I don't know how I'm going to handle that yet. GX. The next I am going to do, and I'm going to do a no right turn up top. So up top is going to be not a cube, it's going to be a plane. RX 90, I'm going to scale that down. I'm going to scale on the Z axis. I'm going to GZ. I can select these edges. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can bevel that. But before I bevel, let me apply the scale and then bevel that just like so. So what I can do next is I can project this from view. You project from view and then look for the material. I think the material is right here. I can link these two materials easy, and I want to catch these edges so I can scale on the Y and GZ, scale on the X. So we got another one. I'm just going to Shift D, X. Whoa. Then another we could have is I need some triangle signs. So I'm going to keep this right here. And then if I do some triangle signs, let me see if I can have more of this. But I want this to be on its own. So I can move so I can move this to this point right here. I don't think I'm feeling this one because it doesn't look like there's any kind of urgency to it. So I'm going to look for something else. GX, scale that. And over here too, I'm going to do the exact same scaling with GY into place, GY. So I want to do some triangles. I'm still going to keep that over there, and to create a triangle I can bring in a circle, RX, I'll change this to 3 first, and then RX 90, and then just bring it up into view just like so. And with this pin here I can fill and I can GY just like so, and I can extrude this just a smidge. So after the extrusion I can go to these 3 edges right here and just bevel those, project from view, easy. So I can select all, scale down, and just look for signs up here that I can use with the triangle. I don't understand what this sign mean. Okay, I understand what this one mean. So I can scale this into place and then link materials, easy. This is cool. I can pair it with this octagonal. Yeah, I think I can pair it to this octagonal sign right here, the goal sign. So in order to achieve that, I can bring cursor to this point. 45 divided by 2. Let's see. 45 divided by 2 is what? 22.5. R 22.5. Okay, that's cool. Fill, scale that down, come right here, extrude forward a little, come to the front view, and then project from view. A scale down G, bring this right here, scale, and just lightly occupy the sign so I can link these 2 materials. And we're good for this one. I can GX. I'm going to change this triangle to something else, R180, and then this is going to be, do I have another octagon here? No, I don't. So if I don't, maybe I can RX or Y 180 and then swap the positions. I want to duplicate this circle, Shift D, and then bring the duplicate to this point. And with this, I can look for another sign. Oh, I could use the stop sign. Oh my God. Bring that back. G, bring this down to the stop sign. Cool. Perfect. Do I want to use this? I don't think I want to. Only if I make it small. Let me see. No, it doesn't make sense. I can take this out, or and just copy this as one and then do something else for that one. I can do something else, this down part. So I can call cursor to this point, and then maybe I can do something like this. So what I want to do now is, I think I'm getting really exhausted. I'm already feeling some vibration through my body right now. I don't think this is healthy for me. Is this up to 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think if I can take this up to 20, then I'm good. What other signs? So Shift DX, move this out the way, and then right here I can probably dismantle this base and then make this into some kind of a long base right here. This, I'm going to pick something different for it, I think, right? So I can Shift D this, or maybe I can join this too, and then set origin to, okay, now this is tricky. So I can select, can I select all this, change into edit mode and GX? And the reason I want to do this is so that I can easily select this and then mirror to the other side, right? Let me go to the mirror, apply that mirror. I can GZ down to this point, and right here, hold the cursor to this point, GZ. I want to I want to put a redirect, so I can shift D, call this, call this to this point, GY all the way out, just like so, but smaller. And I can G, put this right here, right? So I like this, but I don't think I want to do it again. Which one do I want to do next? Maybe I should do the 4 pump. I've already done the 4 pump before, so there's no need to do it again. GY. I think this right here, I want to move to this point so I can duplicate and then call to this point, but it's all messed up and janky. So I can bring origin to geometry and then try that again. Still janky. This right here, I would change to, I'm going to change to a speed limit sign. Let's put it as a hard 120. So I can GX all the way out. So I can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I probably want to just do a couple more and that'll be off. Seems to be breezing by really fast. And I can Shift DX, move that out of the way. What other sign can I do? What other sign? I think some of this cube, some of these ones are not fully represented, so I can bring this onto this point and then G to do maybe like this kind of Y junction or a T junction, whichever it is. And then this could be, okay, I think I'm cool with that being there. Next I want to do Shift DX. That's 3 more remaining. I can delete this, delete both of this, and I can select this and just GX basically. Shift DZ. I can move to another square. Let's say we want to do this right here. Scale that. But it needs to be a different color though. I don't think we can have 2 of the same color on one. But on this one, we're going to have, if it doesn't exist, we're going to invent it. Then Finosea Abanoranking, the original Nigerian Dangagan. Alright, so for this, I can Shift DX all the way out. It remains 2 more before we can call it a night. I think for this too, I can clear this out. And maybe I want to do more circular ones. So select the Shift D, call it to this position. I don't mind the combination of these two. Not bad at all. Not bad at all actually. Shift D X. Then I think this is one more. This could be the last one. G. I can try something different with this. Shift D X. For this one, I want to do a double deck like I did the other time. So I would come right here, select this, and then select this right here. So I can delete those faces, and right here I can delete these vertices. So I can bring in, can select all of this, go into edit mode, A and GX, move it out of the way, just like so. And I can bring in a cube at this point, bring cursor to origin. Where's origin? And then I can bring in a cube on the z-axis, SY, SX, scale on the Z, and then just scale in a smidge, SC. This right here, I will select this and GZ in, but right here, I'm going to bring this all the way down just like so. And in this face mode, I'm going to extrude out just like so. And right here, I can select these edges and bevel that. So this is going to be SX. I'm going to apply that to scale and then just run a bevel through that. I can link these 2 materials and voila. So this can be mirrored to this side easily. The only thing is that I want to make this shorter, or maybe around the side, not significantly shorter like that. I can bring this to the origin, scale this in, and I'll just put one. Let me do this Thunderbolt sign. So I'm going to look for a triangle, Shift D, call this to this point. I'm going to scale that down, GZ, and right here I'm going to G all the way to this side. So make it look like there's an electrical installation going on, a road blockage, and an accident. So this is going to be ridiculous, but I don't really know what this means. GY. I think right here I can select this and GC, and then I think I'm cool with this. I don't care about what's going on in the back of this one. So yeah, we have a long list of, so that's it guys. So long, and until until I see you guys in the next one. Peace.